Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to walk you through my 100% drugstore luminous foundation routine and blush bronzer base basically routine. Super easy, super affordable. The drugstore has such good products. You can totally get a high-end look at drugstore price. You just have to look for the right products. Although at this point, most drugstore brands have like products that are definitely high-end quality. So I'm gonna walk you through a couple options in this video. I did wanna go through what I kind of do to prep when I want fully luminous skin, how I kind of prep my skin. I always use the Indian Healing Clay Mask. You can get this from Whole Foods, which is where I get it for like $9, or Amazon for like $7. You just mix it with a little apple cider vinegar and it does miracles for your skin. Yes, it gets super tight and a little bit uncomfortable because it's really like tightening on your skin, but once you take it off, your skin feels baby soft. You could also do like a at-home like shave your face type of deal to get like really soft skin, but I prefer to just use the mask. I love that mask and I feel like my skin just looks dewy the next day, so I did that last night. And then to prep, I washed my face this morning with my CeraVe normal face wash that I always use, and then I used the Ordinary hyaluronic acid. I kind of like to use that before makeup prep because it gives a kind of like sticky base, and I like that, and I do feel like my skin does look immediately more hydrated. And then on top of that, I used my CeraVe moisturizing lotion, which is what I use every day. I even used it under my eyes. I always take it up under the eyes because I'm very sensitive to eye creams. I get melia if I use an eye cream, so CeraVe is the only one that's really worked for me, so that's what I use to prep my skin. So with all that said, if you are interested in seeing how I got this full-on drugstore, even my eyes, I'm not walking you through my eyes, but I use the Carly Bible palette. Even my eyes are drugstore, my lashes are drugstore, my brows are drugstore. So if you have any questions, as always, let me know below. Otherwise, go ahead and keep watching if you're interested in this video. This is very weird for me because I normally do my face makeup first and then my eyes and brows, so it's like weird to look at myself in the mirror like this. But anyway, the first thing we're gonna start with is primer, of course, and I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer in the Dewy. There's like, I think it's a matte kind and this dewy kind. I could only find this at like Ulta, which kind of stinks because I like to go to like CVS and Walgreens and stuff for my like primers like this, but it's okay. It was also just online for me, which was also a headache, but it's okay. I ordered a bunch of stuff from Ulta anyway, so I'm gonna take that and just apply this as a primer to give myself that kind of dewy base. That was a lot of primer. I think I might have taken a little too much, but whoop. Got it in the eyelash. Nice, Brittany. Gonna have some dewy eyelashes. I'm not meant to do my eyeshadow first. I also have a new setup because I got rid of my dining room table, which is where I used to set everything up. So this is also weird for me because I'm used to having all my stuff spread out, and right now I have it on this like little tray in front of me. So if the camera shakes a little bit, I promise I'll get better and I will get used to it. So you can see I am definitely glowy. This is definitely a glowy type of primer, and it's one of those kind of like sticky primers, which I don't mind. I kind of like a sticky base, so normally I like to let my primer sit in for about like 15 minutes, but for the sake of the video, we're not gonna do it. So a couple options here for affordable radiant foundation, which I like. I have the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir. I have the shade 125. This is an oldie but a goodie. This came out I think last year and everybody went crazy for it. I think they can do a better job with shades, but we'll make it work. And then I also have the Essence Fresh and Fit Wake Up Makeup. This is a little bit of a lighter coverage, definitely lighter than the CoverGirl, but this is also a really good drugstore option. I think this is like maybe $4.99, maybe $6.99, super affordable. You can get it at Ulta, but today I'm gonna go in for a little bit more of a full coverage look with the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir. I do have a whole video on that Essence makeup. If you wanna see that, I will link it somewhere below, up here, wherever. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start to apply this, and I'm using a beauty blender because I just think it looks a little bit better with this product. So I'm gonna go right on the beauty blender and then kind of dot it all over the face and drop it on my pants while I'm at it. and then just kind of start to pounce it in. This is a very, I think I have a, yeah, I'm fairly certain I have a whole video on this one as well. This is a very fragranced, very fragranced foundation. And my spray tan is starting to come off my neck, so I'm definitely gonna bring this down and up onto the ears. If you couldn't tell, I'm already starting to get kind of a watery eye. My allergies have been like super out of control lately, and I've been taking allergy medicine every single day, so not entirely sure what's going on with that, but I'm definitely gonna get a leaky, watery eye. I can already feel it. I'm gonna leave it at that right now for the foundation. I'm very glowy, very dewy, and this foundation I like because it's still pretty light, and I don't know, it just kind of like blends really easily into the skin. So we're gonna leave it at that, and then like I said, go in with the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer. I think this is more like medium, but you can like build it to full coverage. So I'm really liking this stuff right now because again, my under eyes have been like kind of dry lately, and I'm not into that at all. So because I don't feel like the CoverGirl like sets down, I'm just gonna take this large Eco Tools brush and take really minimal product and just set everywhere else, because I am going to apply powder products over this, and I just don't like how it looks when you go in with like a sticky foundation with powder products. It just like kind of patches onto things. So I just like to do a really light wash of whatever powder I'm using everywhere else, just like that. And then we are going to go ahead and move right into bronzer. So again, I have a couple options here. I have the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, which is just such a beautiful bronzer. Smells like coconuts, love it. And then I also have the Milani Baked Blush in number 5, and I'll show you what that looks like. Why aren't you opening? Looks like this. So it has a little more glow and radiance to it. So I think we're gonna start with this one and try to see how it looks. If it looks too glittery, we'll switch back to the Physicians Formula, but I wanna try this. So I'm just taking my Wet n Wild blushy, bronzy, just a big puffy brush, and I'm gonna start to just apply it as a bronzer. See how beautiful that sheen is? I love it. And I don't like to contour with my bronzers. Like, obviously I wouldn't contour with one like this since it has so much shimmer in it, but like, if I was using the butter bronzer, I wouldn't contour with it. I prefer to use like more ashy tones for contour. So I just kind of take a bronzer, like I stop it basically where my contour would start. I'd probably contour right in there, and I just kind of like apply it where I would apply blush, you know what I mean? And then I take it onto the forehead to round everything out, and then a little bit down the neck just to kind of, again, like round everything out. Maybe a little on the nose since it's like springtime. There's my cat sneezing. I'll probably do it 10 times. Yeah. And then I'll typically just go back in with the powder brush that I used and just lightly blend the edges so there's nothing too harsh. I really like this brush a lot. It's not too dense, but it's also not too like loosely packed. It's a really good one. So the next thing we're gonna go in with is blush. And once again, I have a Milani product and I have a Physicians Formula. I have the Butter Blush in Vintage Rouge. I know I was calling this Vintage Rose for a while, I just wasn't paying attention. So that looks like this, and again, it has just a really nice, pretty sheen to it. Hopefully you guys can see that on camera. Beautiful, beautiful, pigmented, lovely blush. Like, I just put that on the back of my hand and you could see, like, I barely touched it. And then I also have the Milani Baked Blush in number 5 as well. And Luminoso, I think is what this is called, and it looks like that, just a nice peachy color. And I think I'm gonna go in with this one because, no, you know what? With my eyes, the Butter Bronzer is gonna look a little bit better. So let's go in with that one actually. And then once again, I just take the Eco Tools brush and just go right on over to blend everything. And I know I've shared this in a past video, but something I always like to do is tie my blush into my eye look. So I'll just take like a fluffy brush. This is just some Wet n Wild fluffy brush. And I always like to just kind of like throw it real quickly into the crease area. So it kind of like ties everything together. And with blush, I really like to use them as eyeshadows because once again, you don't go overboard because they're not as pigmented typically as like a shadow. Just kind of start to like work it under the eye to start the process of the under eyes, which we'll do right after highlight. Speaking of highlight, I rediscovered my obsession for the Mega Glow highlighting powder from Wet n Wild. This is Precious Petals, the original one they came out with. My cap broke off, but it's okay, I still have a ton of product. This stuff lasts all day on me and is so wet looking and reflective. I absolutely love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face since I've been applying some powder product rather, with the Mario Badescu facial spray. This is like 14 bucks and so nice. It smells so good. This is the chamomile and lavender. I just transfer it into this little container right here because I really like the spritzer. This is from Whole Foods. It's just a nice light spritzer, whereas that one's a little more like intense. I like can go way overboard with this spritzer because it's so like fine and nice, and it's also, it smells like lavender and it's beautiful. So I'm gonna take this Wet n Wild brush and then just highlight. I don't want to go too overboard because I do have the like glowy foundation on, but I definitely want a pop. So I'm gonna take that right onto the brow in the C motion like that. Same thing on the other side. I like to do this while the like spray is still kind of setting down. I think it just makes it a little more reflective. Down the nose. Tip of the nose. Cupid's bow. Whatever's left, I just take it on the chin and right above the arch. I just dipped again because I can't control myself. And then I'm also gonna just take a, where are you? Some kind of fluffy brush. This is just an LA Girl brush, and throw that on the inner corner to open up the eyes. And then as always, I just kind of take my beauty blender and stamp wherever I applied that so it blends in really nicely. I like it to be like poppin', but not too harsh. All right, so what I'm gonna do is finish up my eye makeup on the bottom of the eyes, apply some mascara, and then I will meet you right back here. I finished up the eye makeup and the only thing left to do are lips. So I'm gonna take the NYX Mauve liner, looks just like this. Works really, really well as like a nude lip for my color lips. So I'm just gonna line lightly. And then to keep it the whole like glowy luminous theme, I'm gonna take the L'Oreal Lip Paint in Spicy Blush. Again, dropped it on my pants. Good thing these are just crappy sweatpants, and apply that. And there you go, guys. This is my completed look for a luminous, glowy drugstore look. The drugstore, I've said this a million times, I'm totally a drugstore girl, but the drugstore has stepped their game up so much in the past few years. You can get a totally high-end look with all drugstore products. By the way, I realized that my neck looks super splotchy because the tan is coming off there, so let's ignore that. But anyway, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I'll list all my makeup details below. I used the, let me grab it here, the Carly Bible Deluxe Edition palette for my eyes today. I love this palette. I have a whole, I think I have a couple looks actually on this palette and then her original palette. This is totally worth it. And it's drugstore price and it's at Ulta. So can't beat that. Let me know if you guys have any questions below. As always, thanks for spending some time with me today. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Otherwise, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It means the absolute world to me, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.